Took around 1,000 applications to finally land my first software engineering job. Then the offer was taken away. I guess I'm just writing this to cope, but my God, I do not want to apply to more jobs. I interviewed and landed the job at Lockheed Martin, and they rescinded my offer because my security clearance was apparently taking too long, even though they said multiple times that they would wait for the full clearance to process. Don't stop applying until y'all are getting paid. Wish I knew that sooner. Dude, same. I had 2 taken away so far. 1,000 plus apps. How are you even doing 1,000 apps? Are you applying to just anything? Any city, any state? I don't even have 50 listings in my area for software developer. Lol. Haven't tried remote yet. Yes, I am applying to anywhere. I will move. I don't care. Man, I don't miss the days when I was willing to move almost anywhere for a job. Once you land one, try to save up enough cash where you can be more choosy. On top of that, get that resume gap off your resume if you can without lying too much. List a personal project as a job, especially if you can get a non-zero amount of revenue from it. Can you elaborate on listing a project as a job part? I'm a student and have basically no experience, so this would help a lot. It's mainly advice for experienced professionals who find themselves without a job in their field for a few months to 1+ years. HR monkeys tend to blame you for being unemployable, no matter how much it is or isn't your fault. Instead of leaving an empty gap in your work history, you should stretch out your previous job's end date and get creative with the definition of job. If you're not making W-2 money and also not in school, you should still spend the time on a side hustle or passion project related to the skills you want to find a job using. If you're currently a student, it's fine to describe your projects as just projects. HR monkeys will not throw out your resume, at least not because of a work gap. Yeah, I'm looking at my area. I'm in a major city and only 50 listings, lol. And obviously, they are probably already slammed to the bone. Bro, you gotta apply everywhere, lol. If you haven't applied to at least 100 postings in Montana, are you even applying? I don't want to move, lol. But is the market really that bad where people are willing to move to Montana? I have LinkedIn alerts for around 30 states on, including Montana. LMAO, the market is so bad. You would actually move there? Or remote position? I'd only move there if I was making double the cost of living, lol. To go out of my way that much. I live in Connecticut. I would happily move anywhere else. I obviously have preferences for remote positions, but I'm not tied down to where I am, Arn. What about your mom, dad, grandparents? How can you leave them behind? I already don't live with them. Lol. What does living with them have to do with seeing them with some minimum frequency? If you move several states over, you won't be seeing them more than a few times per year. I see my mom once a week because I live 20 minutes away, sometimes once every 2 weeks. But if I had to leave Florida and go live in Cali, IDK, how long would it be before I can see them again? My brother in Christ. My parents are in a different country altogether. I moved to the States for grad school. Oh, gotcha. Lol. So what country are you from? And is the plan to go back or to stay here? Yes. Given that Idaho and Utah are favorite destinations for the Cali folk, it's only a matter of time before Montana is too. But there are so many short-term employments, like they would last 2 to 3 years. Max, is it really worth it to move so often? I used Indeed and filtered by Indeed's auto-application thing. Then I filtered by my pay preference. Then I used my middle mouse button to open apps in another tab until my PC slowed down. Then I hit the Apply with Indeed button and closed the tab. Then I selected the option to have my resume sent to any employer that matched the keywords I selected in my skills section. Then I made sure my actual resume PDF was formatted for optimal recognition for the automated filtering employers do, making sure to include all the key phrases I noticed frequently popping up in descriptions. I made sure it went unnoticed by a person just skimming it by setting the font to the lowest, and then matched the background color so it looked invisible to humans. The scanning software would recognize me as the perfect candidate. Then I'd send this version in to any place I heard was hiring that didn't accept Indeed's automated application system. All in all, I was sending 1,000 applications a day for my first 3 months out of college. I limited it to within 50 miles of where I was living and applied to multiple positions at the same place, even if I didn't know how qualified I was. I got maybe 5 interviews because sometimes the job is just advertised as a front or some other bullshit. You can, if you treat applying to jobs as your full-time jobs. Of course, opportunities still need to exist. I just had my first ever rescinded offer. They were hiring a team of 30-plus people to reverse engineer and update an app they had just acquired. They made the offer on December 4th, strung me along through Christmas, saying they were behind on the official paperwork, and then bam! On January 2nd, they called and said funding had been reduced and my offer had been rescinded. I feel bad for all of us. I used to be able to post my resume and within a few days would have multiple offers. I don't think I've hit 1,000 apps yet, but a few hundred for sure. Damn, that's bullshit, dude. That's how it works in the cleared world. They need billings yesterday, and Counterintel found some reason to deny an interim clearance. That especially blows because it seems that clearances are taking a lot longer than usual right now for some reason. A few new members of my team have been waiting for months. Only a handful have interim clearances, but fortunately, my employer does not require clearance. Best of luck out there. You got one offer, you can definitely get another. Lockheed is a pretty good company, so don't be discouraged. Plus one to this, my clearance processing started in February 2023. It's now January 2024, and I don't have it. In October, interim was granted, and my references were interviewed, and I've heard nothing back since. Oh, that's sad, man. Anyway, keep applying and don't give up. Is that even legal? Do you have that in writing? That's so unbelievably shitty. It was likely a conditional offer, with the condition being the security clearance. Thing is, I haven't even been denied for the security clearance to begin with. So you're still going for it, right? Once you are cleared, you would have a higher chance for cleared jobs. Hopefully, but at this point I'm just not sure. Unfortunately, if you're let go from a position requiring a clearance without ever getting a full clearance, you'll get a LOJ and the investigation will stop. You can check out r/security clearance, r/security clearance for more information. Here's a sneak peek of //security clearance. Using the arfnp.reddit.com//security clear top, sorties top and year top posts of the year. Number 1. ApeNews.com's article, NSA Russia-Spasha classified Colorado Dalkey 51C4B3F35DCAB62 former NSA worker pleads guilty to trying to sell U.S. secrets to Russia. mp.reddit.com/security clearance/comment/17finlzo former NSA worker pleads guilty to trying to sell. Number 2. mp.reddit.com security clearance comments 18 EV3X9 Why does being raped make me ineligible for a security clearance? The marijuanamoment.net/watch live congressional committee votes on bill to remove marijuana as barrier to federal employment or security clearances. Congressional committee approves bill to remove marijuana as barrier to federal employment or security clearances. np.reddit.com security clearance/comment/16nxq'd Congressional committee approves bill group 5 comments. Bot. Beep. Beep. Boop. Downvote. Downvote to remove. arftp/reddit.com message compose / to a sneak peek bot. Contact. np.reddit.com/sneak peek bot. Info. np.reddit.com //sneak peek bot /08wk1r. Blacklist gore. Opt out opt/github.com/ghnr/sneakpeekbot was wrong, but I'm curious as to what happens. Please update Ty. No, you can't pay for yourself to get security clearance with the US Govt. It doesn't work that way. You need a sponsor and a reason for the clearance. You can't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to file the paperwork so I can have TS clearance. This is not true. So how can someone get clearance for themselves? Apply to a role either in the federal space or at a contractor that requires a clearance. They almost always want people with active clearances, so it's usually military vets coming into the workforce after going through college. If they like you enough, they'll sponsor you to get one, though. At no point can you just wake up and say, I want a clearance. You need to be in a role that requires the need to know. Not just legal, but common. It's also why most contractors outright won't hire unless you have either an active or current clearance of the appropriate or higher level with the agency in question. I do, but I seriously doubt I can do anything with it. Sorry to hear, brother. Keep trying. My place, it took me 8 months to get a clearance. I feel fortunate I was able to still develop without it now. Dang, I wish you best of luck. Exactly why I switched from CS to nursing, lol. Smartest decision ever. My ex had multiple jobs lined up. This might be my future NGL. My sister is a nurse, and she's chilling. Yeah, we should all switch. CS is dead. How long is taking too long? Did you give them a reason to worry? About 2.5 months, according to them. I called my recruiter to ask them what happened, because not even 2 weeks ago they texted me saying, hey, your clearance is still processing, hang tight. The company's needs changed and said that they can no longer wait. It sucks, as this was finally my foot in the door. Wow, that's unlucky. My interim took like 3 months. Funding and direction seems to change very frequently here. I suspect they just used the clearance thing as an excuse since the offer was already conditionally tied to it. I'm sorry that happened to you. I love how the general vibe is sucks. Just apply harder, bro. It is the literal equivalent to, bro, you're not here yet, but you're on waiting for the bus to arrive. Just wait faster, bro. Romao, you're so right. But in the end, there's not much else anyone can do. Employers market and all that. Are you Asian? The same thing happened to a friend's child last year, even though he was born and raised in US. I don't think being Asian in of itself is reason to flag a security clearance application, but many Asian people, including myself, have foreign contacts, which might be a red flag. My friend's son has 0 foreign contacts. He even doesn't speak any Asian language. I wonder if the Asian Americans are underrepresented in the defense industry. A causal look through the LinkedIn suggests this is the case. Did he have any other issues on his SF-86? There are lots of stuff on SF-86 that can get a very normal person flagged, and none of them have to do with race, including relatively minor stuff like weed usage. Someone even got denied his clearance because of his esoteric pornography usage, though this was TSSCI, which is one of the most strict types. I know lots of Asians with security clearance who work in defense, but I agree that our representation is not strong. Esoteric porn usage, do they ask what people are into? For TSSCI, I've heard yes. The main point of it is so that the government knows no one can blackmail you with the weird parts of your life and extract sensitive info from you. Not for a TSSCI, but for a full-scope polygraph. Oh, I see. Don't know much about security clearances other than what I've read online, so I guess I just forgot where that question gets asked. According to another post of his, he smoked weed and admitted to it, got fired from a job due to poor performance, and has parents that are dual Pakistani citizens. His race was not the problem. I don't think he uses weed. His parents complained a lot about him, but drug use is not one of the complaints. So are black or other most likely. Yes, I am. That's awful, man, but At least hopefully you'll find somewhere where your race isn't a factor. How you know it's a factor? He smoked weed, got fired from a job for poor performance, and has parents that are dual Pakistani citizens. This was not racism. Does your job start soon or something? Typically they hire for summer positions, so you have 6 months or so to get cleared. Just wondering because I'm waiting for 1 month now, so kind of worried. Not really, I guess it would have started as soon as I was cleared. And they said they wouldn't mind waiting a while. What location and department, space, missile, etc. were you hired for, if you don't mind me asking? Rotary and Mission Systems. Normally I don't say give up, but give up. Your comment history says otherwise, Lomeo. Yeah, recently I have started doing that. Security clearance is harder for ethnic people. Why am I even fucking trying as a 26 grad if this is going to be my future? If anything, I'm going to be doing 5,000 applications. Make one God-tier project and aim for a very specific title and tech stack. There is no other way to guarantee success. Also, start making contacts. The large majority of jobs come from contacts not applying. Where do you find contacts?